I'm out here because I like to address, the issues of social control and, monetizing hugs, basically. That's kind of my main reasons for being out here and how absurd it all is. But you're kind of out here for a different reason, Alex. Could you explain?
I'm here for that reason, to protest the monetization of human touch, but also plant some seeds. There's plenty of people out here that have been left by their loved ones, not just here, but around the world. In a world where many men have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one's livelihood. And so when men are seeing cuddling monetized, really it brings up a lot of negative emotions. It actually breeds resentment against women. And there are actually some women that think that this is unhealthy behavior. It makes women look more like gold diggers. So I'm actually against trying to frame women in a certain light. But if this is actually happening in society, and one of my nightmares is coming true. For example, 5 years ago, I said in the future New World Order dystopia, we would see love monetized. It was like a Facebook post. I mentioned it also in one of my YouTube videos. Well, now it's happening in a city that's #1 for gentrification, in a city where many of my friends don't have homes. All of them are male. And in some of the workplaces here at restaurants, some of them prefer women that look a certain way as well. So there are, you have racial tensions, you have gender tensions, you have class tensions, and you have sexual tensions. You have a number of tensions all together in this city with a number of social ills. So in no way do I want people to have a bad time, especially men that are going and cuddling. I'm not going to give them any lectures whatsoever. But I want Samantha Hess to hear me. I want Samantha Hess to know that there are some men that are not feeling healed from this whole thing. I'm against it completely. I think that maybe we should have adult conversations about what's going on with our economy, what are our so-called political leaders, presidents doing. We can't keep having these banker bailouts, not to get into politics, but we can't remove the economic reality of what's happening. Because not everybody can live off of a service industrial job at a restaurant or grocery store or gas station. So as Portland becomes more gentrified and more people move here, the idea of monetizing cuddling sounds like it's a step towards something else. Like, what's coming next? Like, handshakes for sale or holding hands for sale. It sounds like a great event. The organizer came down. He was real nice.
What I find really interesting about what you're saying is that this is, do you think she's feasting in terms of monetizing on people's insecurities, or what is it that she's using?
I should focus more on the nature of the professional cuddling industry than Samantha Hess. She just seems to be almost like a micro spokeswoman that the media is, I don't want to say the media is using her or she's using the media. Because when I looked at her videos, it was me. I'm so spiritual, I'm so new age, I'm a healer. And, you make $10,000 a month or more doing this. The Young Turks report on $7,200 a month 6 months ago. So with all the mainstream media promoting this, as they also in some ways kind of demonize men, kind of turn us against each other, I'm wondering what their intentions are as a whole for them to even be giving this so much attention. Samantha may believe that she's helping people. Maybe in her mind, though, it really is about money. So I don't really know. But I feel like I have a purpose, and the purpose is to say some things in a coherent, non-aggressive, peaceful manner, as I'm going to try to do here in a few minutes, in hopes of reaching her. So let's just say that somebody is using men for money. That comes with karmic consequences. So I actually, in my videos on YouTube, I actually am talking a lot about some of these issues. Being a man that's pretty much going his own way. It's known as MGTOW, where we are voluntarily, we have ceased and desisted from chasing the poontang, as they say. But, there's nothing wrong with being in a relationship or getting laid. It's just the nature of relationships today in cities like this have felt so monetized. So as long as they know this, we're not really being seen as healers, and it's not woman hate, it's actually concern for how women are being viewed. A lot of women out there want men to approach them and say hi. But, if men are viewing women in a certain way as being all about money, or feeling like, well, if I don't have any money, or if I'm homeless, I'm worthless, then with most men, if they're not on the spiritual path, all that anger is going to brew. What happens? You have drug addiction, you have alcoholism, you have rape, you have suicide, you have hurting yourself. Yeah, this is a city where there's a lot of people hurting, and I think they're hurting because they don't have love. So the very fact that healing comes about from cuddling, when it's monetized, it changes the energy. Yeah, I think so.
So Alex, you mentioned that she's kind of, in a way, marketing herself as like this new age female healer,
Yeah.
kind of cuddle guru. And in a way, you know, there's all these women who are you know, very much about the idea of ending patriarchy and ending. That's Samantha Hess right there. That's the article in Oregonian about it.
She seems to be marketing herself as Mother Mary, with the arms outstretched. It's like a Mother Mary pose.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know, like,
right.
Come to mama.
Yeah, and the media is just eating it right up.
Yeah, and so I want to stay away from insulting her, but maybe she'll see this video and she'll think about this, but this is really not about Samantha.
Yeah.
This is about where is the monetization of human affection going to end up.
And what do you think about the idea that maybe inadvertently, by charging for cuddling and by marketing herself as this sort of cuddle guru, femi-goddess kind of person, that maybe she's even inadvertently mimicking patriarchal patterns in society?
Yeah. Well, there's
know?
a lot of, I don't want to get too religious or spiritual, but I do think that there is evil in our world, and definitely behind government, and that's the evil that wants to keep men and women under its thumb. So I'm not a really big believer that we're in a patriarchy. Some will even say that we're in a matriarchy, where women are actually making more of the decisions on what to buy. That's why advertisements are constantly going after them. I think that we're in kind of an oligarchy, an evil-archy. We're definitely in a tyrannical system, but to blame it on one gender, I don't think it's conscious, and I don't think it's going to lead us towards understanding how we got here. So, women that think that we're in a patriarchy, though, my suggestion to them is there's a lot of good men out there that are discarded by women. It's a side issue, but a related issue is there still are a lot of women today that like to be with the dominator, that will actually stay with the man after he hits her. And I think that is indicative of something out of whack with our biology. Just got to be honest. I don't necessarily believe it's part of our society. It's like as animals, you know, we have it in as men, some of us, to be in the hunt for a female and to seek a smaller female, and females have it in them to kind of seek a larger male. And I see how there's like some traits in our biology that's driving how women decide which men they're going to be in a relationship with. So some women might see a guy and go, oh, he acts like he's a tough guy. He wears a tap-out shirt. He acts like a jackass at the bar. He may be perceived as a better protector by being a jackass. Another reason a lot of men are doing steroids, you know, is because big muscle still does attract some women. So some men will actually harm their bodies in order to attract a man. It's not just about fighting other men. It's about like looking like your alpha. And so I really think that men and women should think about like, how do we evolve our sexuality? Now to go in kind of another direction, how do we evolve our consciousness to where we're no longer controlled by our ancestors' biological impulses, because we all got it, which makes living in modern day cities so interesting. So I would definitely say for those who are like, man, we're in a patriarchy, fuck this. I would encourage them to think about the fact that we're all responsible for what world we ended up in. And there's responsibility on both the part of men and women to pick better mates. Honestly, I think that that's the only way we're going to live in a better society. Whatever these politicians say, most of the time, is just propaganda. The politicians aren't really necessarily going to make our streets safer, or there's even so much more to life than the state of the economy, too, you know?
And this is what I wanted. I wanted something different, for sure. Because everybody in there is cuddling, you know, like kind of feeding into what you're talking about.
It's kind of interesting how she allegedly only does interviews with, you know, big media outlets, you know, like CNN and, you know, corporate media outlets, but she won't do interviews with citizen journalists who, you know, have some critical ideas about what she's doing.
Okay. Have you guys personally tried to reach out to her?
I have, yes. I have online. I sent her a message, which I thought was you know, I was just expressing that you know, I have
we're just gonna go
some differences in views as far as monetizing hugs go and monetizing cuddling, and that you know, it would be great to do an interview with you about what your views are on it, and I can't remember exactly what I typed, but yeah, nothing confrontational, just something that was basically criticizing the idea of monetizing cuddling, and she never responded, no response whatsoever.
I don't think she's really good at getting back to emails. She didn't really get back to me, but I got media credentials for this. I would recommend just, I mean, maybe not with the camera, walk in and ask her, and then see what she does. I think she's better in person than online, but that's just my opinion. What's your name? I didn't get it.
My name is Aaron.
Aaron, nice.